Modern scientists with billion-dollar laboratories cannot fully replicate what medieval Japanese blacksmiths achieved with fire, water, and iron sand. The samurai sword hides secrets that took 800 years to begin understanding. Here is what makes no sense. Japanese blacksmiths started with the worst possible iron ore. Iron sand. Impure, inconsistent, filled with contaminants that any European smith would have rejected immediately. Yet somehow, they transformed this inferior material into the finest blade steel the ancient world ever produced. The question that haunted metallurgists for centuries was simple. How? How did they do it without thermometers, without scientific instruments, without any way to measure the precise temperatures their process demanded? The answer lies in a technique so sophisticated that even today we do not fully understand every aspect of it. But I need to take you back to where it all began. To understand samurai steel, we first need to understand something called Tamahagane. Tamahagane translates to jewel steel. And earning that name required something extraordinary. The Tatara furnace. Picture a clay structure standing nearly 4 feet tall, burning continuously for 72 hours straight. Inside, layers of iron sand and charcoal combined at temperatures exceeding 2500 degrees Fahrenheit. No modern temperature controls. No electronic sensors. The master smelter watched the flame color. He listened to the sound of the burn. He felt the vibrations through the clay walls. If you are fascinated by how ancient minds solved impossible problems, drop a like because this gets even more incredible. After 3 days and 3 nights, the furnace was destroyed. Not opened. Destroyed. They literally tore it apart to retrieve a single mass of raw steel weighing roughly 2 tons. But here is the mystery that still baffles scientists. That 2-ton steel bloom contained steel of wildly varying carbon content. Some pieces held nearly 1.5% carbon. Others barely 0.1%. European smiths would have considered this a failure. A disaster of inconsistency. But the Japanese masters saw something different entirely. They saw opportunity. And this is where everything changes. The smith would break apart this mass and sort each fragment by carbon content. Not with instruments. With his eyes. With the sound each piece made when struck. With the texture of the fracture surface. Decades of apprenticeship taught them to read steel like we read words. The high-carbon pieces became the blade's cutting edge. Hard. Razor-sharp. But brittle. The low-carbon pieces became the blade's spine. Soft. Flexible. Nearly unbreakable. 2 completely different types of steel. One sword. This dual-nature construction is why the katana became legendary. Now imagine you are the smith. You have sorted your steel. You have selected the perfect pieces. But that was just the preparation. The real magic begins with folding. You have probably heard that samurai swords are folded thousands of times. This is both true and misleading. Let me explain exactly what happens. The smith heats the steel until it glows yellow-white. He hammers it flat. Folds it in half. Hammers it flat again. Each fold doubles the layers. Fold once, 2 layers. Fold twice, 4 layers. Fold 15 times and you have over 32,000 individual layers of steel. But why? What possible purpose could microscopic layering serve? The answer reveals an understanding of metallurgy that seems almost impossible for the era. Each fold expelled impurities. Distributed carbon evenly. Created a molecular structure that modern analysis proves superior to homogeneous steel. But here is where the story takes its most fascinating turn. Everything I have told you so far. That was just the foundation. The true secret of samurai steel involves something that sounds almost like alchemy. Clay. Simple clay mixed with charcoal dust and ground sandstone. Before the final heat treatment, the smith painted this mixture onto the blade. Thin. Coating on the edge. Thick coating on the spine. Think about what this means. When the blade entered the furnace for the final time, the edge heated quickly through the thin clay. The spine stayed cooler beneath its thick clay blanket. Same blade. Same fire. Two completely different temperatures. And when that blade plunged into water? Subscribe now if you want to understand what happens next, because this single moment determines whether the blade becomes a masterpiece or scrap metal. The quench. This is where blades live or die. When that superheated edge hits the water, it cools in a fraction of a second. The molecular structure freezes into martensite. Incredibly hard. Capable of holding an edge sharper than modern surgical steel. But the spine, insulated by thick clay, cools slowly. It forms perlite. Softer. Flexible. Capable of absorbing impact without shattering. And here is what shocked modern metallurgists when they finally analyzed authentic antique blades. The transition zone between these two structures is not abrupt. It is a gradient. A smooth molecular transition that prevents stress fractures. No ancient smith could have understood crystallography. Yet they achieved results that suggest exactly that understanding. Drop your theory in the comments. How do you think they discovered this? But we are not done yet. Because the quenching created something else entirely. Something visible. The hamon. That beautiful wave pattern running along the blade. It is not decoration. It is science made visible. The hamon marks exactly where hard steel meets soft steel. Where martensite transitions to perlite. Every authentic samurai sword carries this signature. A permanent record of its creation frozen into the metal itself. And this is the answer to the question we asked at the beginning. How did medieval blacksmiths without scientific instruments achieve what modern laboratories struggle to replicate? They did not need instruments. They developed something potentially more powerful. Empirical tradition. Generations of masters passing knowledge through apprenticeship. 15 years minimum before a smith could work alone. 50 years before some achieved mastery. Every failure taught something. Every success was remembered. Knowledge accumulated across centuries. Not in textbooks but in hands. In eyes. In intuition trained across lifetimes of practice. Modern science has tried to replicate Tamahagane. Using spectroscopic analysis. Computer-controlled furnaces. Precise temperature monitoring. The results are close. But every expert admits something is missing. The slight variations that come from human intuition cannot be programmed. The micro-adjustments a master makes based on color and sound and feel cannot be quantified. Perhaps this is the most profound lesson the samurai sword teaches us. Not all knowledge lives in data. Some wisdom exists only in the connection between human hands and ancient craft. The techniques survive. A handful of licensed swordsmiths in Japan still practice the traditional methods. Each blade still requires months of work. Each still carries the fingerprint of its maker in every fold and every hammer strike. 800 years of unbroken tradition. Still sharp. Still revolutionary. Still teaching us what excellence truly means. But wait. There is one more secret that most people never learn about. The geometry of the blade itself tells another story. That distinctive curve was not designed. It was created. When the edge cooled faster than the spine during quenching, the martensite structure actually expanded slightly. The softer spine contracted. This differential contraction literally bent the blade into its famous curve. The Japanese did not forge curved swords. They forged straight blades that curved themselves through the physics of the quench. Every curve is unique. A physical record of that exact moment when fire met water. When centuries of knowledge crystallized into steel. This is perhaps the most poetic aspect of samurai sword making. The blade shapes itself. The smith provides the conditions. The materials and physics create the final form. The total process from iron sand to finished sword could take 18 months. 18 months for a single weapon. Consider what this meant in practical terms. A samurai's sword represented not just wealth but thousands of hours of human dedication. The spiritual connection warriors felt to their blades suddenly makes more sense. These were not mass-produced weapons. Each was genuinely unique, carrying the accumulated wisdom of generations. The impurities in that specific batch of iron sand. The weather conditions during the smelt. The particular intuition of that specific master. The exact moment of the quench. All of it captured permanently in steel that would outlast everyone who touched it. Many of these swords still exist today. Still functional. Still sharp. Still carrying the fingerprint of hands that turned to dust centuries ago. So what does the samurai sword truly teach us about ancient knowledge? Perhaps this. We often assume technological progress moves in a straight line. That each generation knows more than the last. But the Japanese swordsmiths discovered something 800 years ago that we still cannot fully replicate with all our modern advantages. Their method was not primitive.